Hey, and welcome to Slottet Microfarm. We are Harold and Marij, and we are building a regenerative community farm in the forest of Dalsland, Sweden. Last year we laid the foundation for the farm. And this year will be our first season truly growing and running the farm, for and with people in our local community. We're in the final stretch of winter, and March has finally arrived. And that means things are slowly starting to come together. The onions and garlic have survived the long and cold winter. And now it's time to give them the space they need to grow. Soon we'll be sowing some salad crops in between the garlic cloves. But for now, they're in the little greenhouse, protected from the elements and growing quite well. Just like the broad beans. And of course the peas and leeks too. It's so exciting to see all these green plants bringing life back on the place again. Now that the morning routine is done, it's time to start on the projects we've planned. We're going to make the duck shelter much safer and finally finish fencing. There we have Harold. He will start off the day. Well, he probably needs some help, but since we're just two pairs of hands with a long to-do list, we split the tasks. So I'm heading down to the field. Let's see what we're up to there. Well, alright. It is a stunning day today. You can smell spring in the air. Fantastic. Just the warmth of the sun. I really miss that. But now the snow is completely gone. We can finally get started with fencing. Take some advantage of the beautiful weather this week. Alright, let's get going. As the weather turned nice and warm, Harold decided to work outside for the day as well and help out with the fences. So we're getting some vitamin D while we're at it. Day 2. Day 2. Day 2. There's nothing more fulfilling than finishing a job in the warm spring sun. Building something step by step and improving it over time. Another task checked off the long to-do list. It's just the two of us, taking it day by day. And we couldn't be more proud of ourselves for doing this.
Helemaal klaar.
Well, it's quite a task, but we have been moving the cow manure we got last year from upstairs or up the hill to the market garden. It's been at least 8 months. I don't really remember it so well. It's been composted very nicely, and we're going to use that to plant our potatoes in when we're going to plant them out. But first we need to move it all to here, and then we're going to have some horse manure, some fresh horse manure. We're going to use that as a base layer on top of the composted hay from last year. Just a little bit to activate the soil activity. Top that off with some hay again, and then use the composted cow manure to have that as a topsoil. We're going to plant the potatoes in there and then top them off with some new hay as a mulch layer. They call this the Lasagna method. Is that English? Lasagna? Lasagna? Well, you probably know what I mean. So it's layer, 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 and this way it's going to be activating all the activity in the soil, which starts to decompose and just releases all of this very nice nutrients to the soil. Cow manure is known for releasing it very slowly, especially when it's composted, which is nice because that's where our potatoes will thrive in very nicely. So that's going to be very nice. But yeah, it's quite a job. But we did something else which is quite awesome, because of course we finished fencing, which is already something very nice to have finished. But we had a little bit of a problem, because, and I will take you to the place and show you a little bit. So, a little spot on the fencing. As you can see, these holes are quite big. We reused a lot of fencing we found around the property or was already somewhere else. We didn't need it there, and then we just removed it and replaced it here. But a lot of the fencing has big holes. Our plan is to have the ducks in here in the market garden. But we noticed from last summer they just go through these holes. So we had them in the little veggie garden and we had the same fencing, and they just escaped through the holes. So we needed to find a solution for that. Because we didn't want to spend a whole lot of money by buying new fencing. If we have so much left we can already use. So we figured something out. We have a lot of bushes and little trees around the property that needs to be cut down or removed or cleaned up. So we are left with a whole lot of branches. And we discovered that would probably be a very nice way to fill up this space make it less interesting to walk through for the ducks, because something is behind it and there is a lot of branches and everything, so they don't really have the interest and intention to go through the holes. But another thing, what's probably going to be a very nice part about it, is that a lot of the big branches are like wide and they have all these branches sticking out everywhere. So if we make a thick layer just next to the fencing, deer and maybe a moose and a wild boar will not be very interesting to come close to the fence. And especially for a deer, they can calculate how high something is, so they can jump over it, but they are not very good in calculating how deep something is. They don't have a really good depth vision. So if we make something they do not really know how deep it is, they have less intention to jump over it. So that's a good way to prevent deer to jump over our fences, because they are not that high, way too low really to prevent deer coming in the market garden. But this is a way to maybe solve that problem. Of course, we have to figure it out while we see it in practice, of course, but perhaps, you never know, and we like to try things and experiment a bit. We find a lot of rose bushes with the thick thorns, so we're using those a lot for hares and bunnies and that kind of small animals, so they won't go through the branches. And hopefully it will be a nice and natural way to prevent wild animals coming in, but especially our own ducks going out, because that will be the main issue at the moment. So yeah, just collecting all of the branches and making heaps, and we'll see if it works. Fingers crossed. Okay. Don't move.
Welke move?
Nee, niet move.
Alright.
Okay.
Refill on the screwdriver.
Refill on the screwdriver.
Yes, sir.
And then I'm going to put this right.
Yeah, right up.
Yup.
Are you going a lefty on that? You're going on a lefty? Make it count. Geweldig gaat twee hebben hier.
Oh, je beweegt.
Yes, I'm doing the balance. Roger.
Ja, kijk nog één. Voor het midden.
Een schroef?
Nee, dat is goed zo.
Huh?
Ja,
Wat moet je?
schroef.
Ah ja, dit is wel een plaats. Tak. Tak is ook in een dak, dat. Tak het. Het dak.
Het dak, ja.
Dus het dak. Moet u dat? Een dak? Nee,
Ja, dat is goed, ja. Alleen niet met een CK.
het wordt te laat. We horen eraan.
Oké, focus op zet.
Yes, focus.
Alright.
Alright.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hij wil even screwdriver met.
Yeah!
Hier nog eentje doen.
Oké, vast.
Dat raakt hem maar gewoon, nee. Even niet naar beneden trekken hoor, trouwens. Ja.
Je moet het pakken.
Oh, I'm scared, ja.
Oei.
Kom maar mee.
Oh no.
Wat is er dan?
Ja, als je uit mijn oor valt, dan hebben we een probleem. We zijn allebei dood.
Oh.
Wie zorgt er nou voor Bram?
Wat?
Good morning. We're having some daylight again. It's the next day. We didn't really finish the ceiling just yet. Going to do that today. A little sore from yesterday. I feel my whole body and then a little tired. But we're getting there. What?
Almost 30.
Yeah, almost. I am.
Half 30, yeah.
I am 30 years old. So I'm getting old. Anyhow.
de nails en de hammer?
Yes, one moment.
No.
Yes. So we're going to finish it today, and then we can clean it up and get it ready.
What's that count?
But it's probably the hardest part, and the most annoying part. So it would be nice if that is done, and then we have. I think we have had enough of fencing and wire and all that kind of stuff for the coming days. We did
Yes.
fencing, we did this. I mean, ridiculous.
Ridiculous. That's farm life.
Yeah, so don't waste any more time.
I will.
Let's go do it. After a long week of fencing and fixing up the stable, we were a little tired. But we did it! And with that, we've reached the end of chapter 12 of our second season here on the farm. Until the next one. Hey då!